Hello everyone, this is Lilydale Radio. The name of the show is called Embracing Your Essence. I'm Colleen and I will be helping you this evening. Before I get to our topic tonight, which is transcending anxiety, and I'm going to show you how to do that, a process, an energetic process to transcend anxiety. But before I get to that, I want to tell you that let me try that again. The Lilydale Assembly website is up and running. The brand new website, it is not totally finished yet, but you can get on there, lilydaleassembly.org, and find out everything that's going to be happening this summer. We do plan to open as usual at the end of June. However, of course, this is going to be contingent upon whatever else is happening in the country and the world. So that is the plan. But here's some good news. Most of the workshops, if not all, will also be offered online. So you may not have to go in person to still take classes and workshops from your favorite people. So lilydaleassembly.org, you can find out everything that's going to be happening this summer. And it looks like it's a great website. I looked through it the other day very carefully. So much happening. And you may be able to now hear my cat playing with his toy in the background. Hopefully she'll stop soon. So hello everybody, thank you for joining me. And as I said, we are going to be talking about transcending anxiety. If you don't know me, I'm Colleen a registered medium at Lilydale. I'm also a certified intuitive life coach. And an intuitive life coach does not tell you what's going to happen or make predictions for you, but helps you figure out the best action to take to move forward to create the life you want to have. I love giving people how-tos, telling them how to do things, strategies, okay? Not necessarily telling them what exactly to do, but strategies to try, things that fit. And also love to help people figure out that they have the power to create the life they want to have. So my process tonight might take a little bit of time, so I do want to get right to that. So we are going to be talking about transcending anxiety. It's also a process that you can use to transcend. I cannot talk right now. You can transcend other emotions as well. Fear, anxiety, worry, overwhelm, anything that's going on. What it helps you do is reclaim your power and get back to that peaceful center. We are all going through quite the time right now, as you all know. And this is unprecedented. We've never experienced anything like this in my lifetime, and probably a lot of your lifetimes as well. So a lot of people are feeling the effects of this, having the anxiety, the worry. Some people are experiencing a lot of sadness. You know, we have grief that we're experiencing because we all have lost how we have lived our lives. Everything is different right now. And some people can handle it better than others, but I think for most of us, it's up and down. One day we're doing great, the next day we might not be. 1 hour we're doing great, the next day we might not be. So we want to look at this and figure out some different ways to handle this. We've already talked about, hello everybody, we've already talked about the greater purpose within this situation of looking at this from a higher perspective, recognizing that this is here to help us all as a whole, our consciousness, rise up and meet this experience. The feelings I have and many others, and I'm not going to harp on this because I've already talked about it, is that this is a time for us to raise our vibrations, to help other people look at things from a higher perspective, not by telling them what to do, but by modeling in our own ways, raising our own vibrations. People have a choice now as to how they're going to respond to this situation. They can choose to stay stuck and spiral down and down and down into the fear, or they can choose to reframe the situation and look for the highest and the best. So what I want to do is talk about this exercise for transcending anxiety and get right to it. This is an opportunity for us to reconnect to ourselves. So this is what we're going to do is we're going to get back into our power. Transcending means rising above our limitations, whether they're self-imposed limitations that we believe certain things are true just because we've always believed it that way, or they're fear-based and we just fall right back into it. Whatever it is, transcending means we go beyond those limitations. We go beyond the self-imposed limited thinking. We go beyond our normal habitual reactions. We intentionally are choosing a higher perspective so we can reclaim our power. We are intentionally doing this. We are making the choice to take constructive action. Not necessarily, of course, to fix our external situation, because that is uncontrollable right now. We cannot fix that. But we can take that action and make that decision to take the action to reclaim ourselves. When we are feeling anxious or any of those other emotions, that gets in the way of us feeling centered and balanced and peaceful. As you know, sometimes I think it's best if we name these things so we recognize what's really happening for us and around us. There's nothing wrong with us saying, today I'm anxious, I don't know what to do about it, or today I'm feeling sad. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? The reason I want to talk about transcending anxiety, though, is because I want to help people feel better, is what it comes down to. I have been practicing this technique for quite some time, and it does involve some practice. It's not hard, but it's not easy either. So you have to practice it. And I will explain it all out. We'll practice it. I will actually have you shut your eyes and try things tonight. Because as a teacher, having taught in the public schools for over 30 years, the one thing I learned is if you do not show people how to do something and take them through it, they will not do it and they won't understand it. So we are going to actually practice it tonight, and I will explain it in great detail. And if you feel like you want me to write it down for you, I will do that as well and post it tomorrow. Whatever you need, I am here. I will do that for you. So what we are going to do with this process is that this is a process that uses our body. When we use our body, we're getting out of our heads, because where are we experiencing our heads? Where are we experiencing our heads? Let's try that again. Where are we experiencing our lives? In our heads, from our emotions and our thoughts. So we want to detach a little bit from those. So when we focus on the body, it's easier to let go of some of those worries and those thoughts and the things that get in there. Our emotions show up in our bodies. They're reflected there. Fear, joy, happiness, peace, sadness, whatever it is, they are reflected within our bodies. So what we're going to do is use the body as our personal guidance system. We can use the information from our body to learn more about ourselves, but we can also use it to learn to shift our emotional energies, and that's what we're going to do tonight. And we are going to help you become more aware of your energy. If you've never worked with energy before, don't worry, I'm going to go through it in great detail. For those of you who have already worked with energy, just go with me for a little bit here, because I want to make sure this is accessible to everybody, not just people who have already practiced some energy work. I'm going to check the comments right now because I haven't done it yet. Higher, please. I feel anxious about this for the first time and did not like this feeling at all. Leanne, I understand. Yeah, today was a little rough day for me as well. I don't know, for some reason I was feeling a lot of anxiety. So I practiced this earlier today, a couple of times even. So hopefully this will help. We'll give it a whirl and see. Okay, so you know how when you're feeling great, you're in the zone, you're in the flow, things are going well, you feel like everything's awesome. You know, you feel very open, expansive, you might feel confident, and you might think, wow, this is great. You know, my day is going great, everything seems to be working out. So when you feel like that, your body is in a certain way. That is when it's at its optimal vibration, when you feel most like yourself. That's the feeling we're going to go for. We're looking for those feelings. We want to bring that feeling in. Okay, so just remember that for a second now. And on the other hand, when we have something that's happening that's a challenge, or maybe we get an intuitive feeling that something is wrong, we're getting a little warning in our gut or something. And I'm going to use the word wrong just because that's what people use. You'll understand it. There really is no right or wrong, but for ease today, that's what we're going to do. When something goes on that bothers you, your body will naturally constrict somewhere. It will tighten up somewhere in your body. Okay? Your body is giving you messages, but we are so busy we don't pay attention. We are just going about our days, one thing to another, one thing to another. We're not really focused on what's happening inside ourselves. This time where we are all isolated and social distancing, this is the perfect time to learn more about yourself, to take a few minutes every single day and just check in, see how you're doing. just check in. It's the perfect time. All you've got to do is make that decision. We will talk about that, of course, more. I started to understand the value of the body a few years ago when I was driving somewhere and I had a GPS going and my car, both giving me forward collision warnings. I would get these obstacles detected out in front of me, all of these things. Whether or not there was something there was beside the point at this juncture, but we get these forward collision warning systems when I'm driving. And I started thinking on that drive, do we have that as human beings? Do we have this forward collision warning system, something that's warning us when something's coming up? And I realized at that moment, as soon as I asked that question, I had the answer. Yes, it is our bodies. Our bodies are our forward collision warning system. I could digress and go on other topics on that, but I will not. It's in my book. You can read it when the book comes out, okay? Or I'll probably talk about it again knowing me. But our body lets us know things. We get that tight jaw when we don't say the things we need to say. When we bite our tongue, figuratively or really, we bite our tongue and don't say what we need to say. When we don't speak our truth. We worry too much and we feel like our shoulders are going to collapse under the weight of the world. And many of you are probably feeling that right now. You know how your shoulders will go like this. Or maybe you have that pounding heart or that fluttering in your stomach that lets you know you have the anxiety. All of these things, everything going on in your life is reflected in your body. Isn't that amazing? So here it is, all the information you need right there in your body right now. It is there for you to just pay attention to. So what we have to do is learn how to do that. And it's always giving us messages. If we can just be aware enough to do this. As I said before, we're always reacting. We react to this, we react to that. We don't consciously choose. We don't stop and take that second and get back inside of ourselves, connecting to our bodies and seeing what's going on. So what we're going to do is practice feeling the energy in your body. And then we're going to learn how to transfer positive energies to the more negative areas and negative situations. And again, I'm using positive and negative, so we have a qualifier here and you know what I'm saying. Again, there is no positive, there is no negative. Another show. The point is to use your energies to shift things, shift those challenging emotions so you can have more peace. And isn't that the goal right now? We need more peace. We need to feel centered, peaceful. We need to feel back to ourselves. So we're going to do a little exercise right now. If you are in a place where you can shut your eyes, feel free to do that. If you don't want to, then don't. As always, you have a choice. But we are going to work on the positive energies first, because I want you to really feel them. I want you to really experience it. So close your eyes and just take a deep breath. And I'll just talk a little bit, you feel, okay? I'll let you know when to open your eyes if you are shutting them. So what I want to do is give you some scenarios so that you can find that strong sense of positive energy, what's right for you. So some ideas, see where they lead you and just go with them. We're playing tonight. We're going to experiment. You're going to pick something that feels right to you. One of my favorite ones is to pick somebody I love. When I want to think about positive energies, I think about somebody I love with all my heart. I love to spend time with them. I want to be around them as much as possible. I want to just be connected with them. If you have someone like that in your life, past, present, whatever, connect with that energy. What does that feel like for you? What does it feel like when you are totally immersed in that loving feeling? That's something to consider. I'll keep giving some scenarios. If you like that one, then stay there, just keep feeling it. Or maybe you can come up with a time when you were happy, when you were peaceful, when you just felt good. There may not have been anything happening externally, but you just felt great. You felt like you. Feel into that. See what that feels like for you. Maybe there's a situation, a time in your life where you do feel most like you. Maybe you're caught up in a project. You know, when I'm doing painting, sometimes I just drift into that so much. I just am going so intuitively. And I love that feeling of when I'm just living from my intuition, whether I'm painting, doing a reading or a healing, whatever it is. is. Feel this, whatever it is. You may have something else where you think about that, you know that's your most positive energy and you love to be in that flow. Think about that, feel into that. We want something that's positive, happy, loving. We want the feeling of being empowered, in the zone, feeling great, feeling like you. You feel love, satisfied, peace, contentment, joy, whatever speaks to you. So just focus on that. And this is just going to be a quick little exercise now. And you can, of course, play with this more later. But just focus on that. Just breathe it in. Feel it. Really feel it as much as you can. Pick something to focus on for just a couple of seconds. I don't want to stop talking because dead air on a radio show is horrendous. But breathe into that. Feel that. Okay? Okay, now, as you're feeling this, how you feel. Touch in with your body. What do you notice? Does it feel relaxed? Can you feel the calmness? Do you feel more peaceful? You might feel some less constrictions in your body. Just notice what it feels like. And of course, keep breathing, because breathing is very important to keep moving the energy. Okay? And I have a cat now. Thank you very much for joining me. Okay, so just breathe into that and feel it. Okay, now take a deep breath and just come back. Come back to your room, come back to your chair, wherever you are, and you can open your eyes. Okay, now what happens with this? These positive energies. You want to practice this as much as possible. You want to go through your memories, go through your life, so to speak, and figure out what really speaks to you. You want to feel into that emotion, the positive energies, as much as possible. When you do this, your body will relax. You can do it when you meditate, when you wake up in the morning, later in the day. Whenever you start to feel strange, you can do that. This is the foundation for this exercise, this process. And I want you to be able to step into that energy as easily as possible, because then we can transfer it over. Okay, so I'm going to explain more about that, and don't worry, you know me, I'll go through all the steps to make sure you really understand it. The more you practice connecting to the positive energy, the stronger it will be and the easier it will be to get there. Okay, now what I want to do now is move into a more negative situation. I wanted to do the positive first just to kind of keep us up a little bit here. When I move into the negative, we're only going to touch on it. I don't want you to go real deep, okay? So if you're of the wanting to close your eyes again, and I want you to think about something negative, something that causes anxiety. It could be as simple as a conversation you had with somebody that really irritated you. Maybe you saw something on Facebook that just set you off, and you know what I'm talking about. Focus on that. Don't worry, we're going to release it, but just focus on it for a minute. What's made you mad? What upsets you? I want you to feel that anxiety, worry. And I know somebody out there is now resisting that. You don't want to feel it. You have to feel your emotions. You have to do it, okay? Just feel it a little bit. You don't have to go all the way in. Just feel it a little bit, okay? Overwhelm, frustration, angry, whatever it is. Just feel it, okay? Now, as you're touching in, for me, what I end up feeling is I feel my heart starting to pound. I feel my stomach tightening up. My jaw starts to get tight. I just, one of those feelings. You want to notice it now, okay? Now, just stop for a second and just notice what's happening in your body. Notice it. Feel it. Okay, you'll notice constriction in there. It's there. Notice it. Look for one thing that maybe seems the most strong if you have something like that, okay? Just notice. You may already be well aware that you tighten your shoulders when you are upset or stressed. You may already be aware you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach or your jaw, or you close your body into a ball and you want to lean over like this and protect yourself, crossing your arms in front of you. You may already know this. We are not judging ourselves for how we're feeling. We're just curious. We're observing. We're noticing. We're thinking to ourselves, oh, look at that. That's how I respond. That's how I respond to this. This is what happens when I'm stressed or worried. We want to learn how you respond. We want to learn more about yourself so you can use this information to respond from a higher perspective, okay? Now, before we open our eyes up, I want to get you out of that negativity for a moment. So just keep with your eyes shut still and just do a deep breath. And then I want you to go back to that positive feeling again. Just go back there for a second. Just think about that. Just think about it. We're not going to do anything about it. We're just going to think about it and feel it. Just feel it, okay? I want you to get the idea of stepping from the negative into the positive. Okay, this is a little preview of the exercise. So a couple of breaths just to get it going there for you. So just breathe in and relax a little bit. Okay, and then if you had shut your eyes, you can open them now. I'm going to read the comments for a second, and then I will go back in. Can it be a pet, not a person? It certainly can, Linda. You can, for your positive memory, your positive thought, whatever brings you joy, peace, love, whatever it is. A pet, of course, is a wonderful, wonderful thing to meditate upon, isn't it? Oh my goodness, yeah. As I just removed my cat from my lap because he was getting ready to knock things down here. But yes, that's a wonderful thing. I'm going to see what Chrissy has. I started taking dose. It has helped with anxiety and panic attacks. Yes, Chrissy is mentioning chemical imbalances. So yes, and I should acknowledge that because of course, yes, many people do have chemical imbalances where it is hard for us to maintain an even keel, okay? And this exercise can be a good add-on to medical solutions for those things, okay? So I don't want to ever minimize the fact that there are chemical imbalances in those things. They are necessary for us to acknowledge. Okay, so what we just did, a little touch on the energies, the positive energies and the negative energies. Again, I'm just using those words to make them easier for us to understand. So what we're going to do is we're using those positive energies to consciously, intentionally, with choice, decision, shift out of the energy from the negative emotions, or even from challenging situations. We can use it that way as well. And I've been practicing this for quite some time, actually, probably a couple of years. And if you've watched me before, you know that I've had episodes of depression and anxiety. So I have to tell you, by practicing this, I feel so much better. That's not to say that I don't fall in on occasion, okay? And like I said, even today was a little weird, but we are living in a strange time. So it's a little weird, but the more I practice it, the easier it becomes to do. Even when things are out of my control, you know, it just becomes easier to do. It's not hard to do, but it takes a commitment to make that decision. And so many people want quick fixes, and this is a quick fix, but you've got to spend at least 4 minutes a day on it. Okay, 4 minutes. That's not very long. I don't know how many minutes are in a day, and I'm sure somebody can tell me, but that's okay. 4 minutes a day, that's really all you have to do. Isn't that something? So it does work. I'm telling you, everything I ever share with you, I have used. And if it works, then I tell you about it. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to tell you about it. So what I have been doing is I'm checking in with my body, and I've been practicing shifting my energy. Only takes a few minutes. Usually when I get going on it, I want to keep going because it feels so nice and it's so peaceful. And then after I'm done, I feel better for hours. So give it a whirl. Even if you've never done anything like this before, give it a whirl. So that's what I'm doing, checking in and shifting. It's necessary that I decide to do it, that I decide to reconnect to myself and take the time. I've noticed if I don't do this, especially now during this time, that I feel unbalanced. I feel unbalanced, and it's easier to get caught in the cyclical thinking and all of those thoughts that get going. You know how we get going and we spiral down? It's easier for me to get caught if I don't do this with some regularity. And I have to make that choice because I can decide, and you can decide, to stay off balance. We can decide to stay in the anxiety, or we can decide to reclaim our power and move out of it. We get to decide. Isn't that amazing? Free will. We can do this. As long as we take the time to reconnect to the power, we can shift that energy. So, hello people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe the process. As we go, you can do it along with us here. If you want to get into it a little bit deeper, go ahead. I will try to do it in more of a meditative kind of way. So it's not just me telling you how, because as I said, if you don't practice it, try it out, you're not going to remember the process. And again, at the end, if somebody wants me to write this out for them, please let me know. I will be happy to do it. I have notes. I can easily make it into a document for you. I'm going to look at comments before I start this. Linda, is Mother Earth anxious as well? That's such an interesting question. Lots of theories right now about the Earth. Well, number one, taking this opportunity to heal itself. but also people, and I don't know if it's true or not, but the earth, feeling like the earth has created some of this, if you will, so that we can save ourselves from ourselves and save the earth. It's an interesting thought, isn't it? So I don't know if Mother Earth, I don't think we can give Mother Earth human quality, but let's assume that the earth has the wisdom of the infinite energy, the God energy there, and is doing what it has to. Isn't it amazing to think about? Yes, Julie is saying this works great. Excellent, Julie. Okay, so here's the process. I call it check-in. Simple name, because simple names are easy to remember, aren't they? 4 simple steps. 4 simple steps. So very easy, so very easy. You just have to make the choice. Tomorrow, some of you are going to wake up in the morning and maybe throughout your day, you're just going to go, oh, I'm not feeling good. And you're going to think of me. I'm going to pop in your head and you're going to go, oh man, I should have tried that. So try it now and see. So if you want to practice with me now, go ahead. I'm not going to go really, really deep, because again, like I said, I don't really want a lot of dead air here. But if you want to go with me, I will do it from more of a meditation thing. So you want to shut your eyes, and I'll try to do it as a guided meditation as best I can. And I'll add explanations as I go. So the first thing, the first step, number 1, you got your eyes shut if you want to. You want to be sitting in an open position. You want to have open body language. You want to sit up. You want your shoulders back. You want your chest out a little bit. Because when we are stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, worried, we are hunching over. So we are going to use your body language to open up. You can put your hands to the side with your palms up if you want to be in the open receiving mode. We want to be in this expecting mode. We're expecting good things to come. We're expecting the energy to come to us and help us. We're trusting that we are doing the right thing for ourselves. We're using the body energy. When we're sitting up, we are open. When we're hunched or closed, we're telling the universe, no, we don't want that. We don't trust it. We're not open. So choose to sit up. Body language, number 1. Okay, number 2, you're going to use your emotions to connect in with your body. What are you feeling? What are you feeling? You want to look for, obviously this is for when you have more negative emotions, so we want to be looking for anxiety, fear. We want to be looking for worry, sadness, grief, whatever it is. What are you feeling? Name the emotion and then feel them. When we're experiencing anxiety, sadness, grief, etc., when we're experiencing them, our natural reaction is to resist, push it away. We don't want to feel it. We have to feel it. Name it. I am experiencing feelings of anxiety. I am experiencing feelings of sadness. I am experiencing feelings of overwhelm. I am experiencing feelings of being lost. I am experiencing feelings of loneliness because no one's around me. I am experiencing whatever it is you're experiencing. Name it and then feel it. If you have an emotional reaction, if you feel sad and you feel like you need to cry, go ahead and cry. Because whenever we let the emotions flow, we are moving our energy up and out. We're moving it. So the emotional reaction is helping us. So first, we have to name these emotions. Naming is important because it brings the emotion to the forefront. We're opening up to ourselves and we're being honest with ourselves. Rather than denying and ignoring, we're accepting the emotion. We're saying, yes, come to me. I want to know how I'm feeling. I want to experience this. All challenging emotions come from fear. We have a fear of whatever it is. Okay, it shows up as that worry and the stress. See these emotions for what they are, a form of fear. Just notice what it is and allow it to flow. Once you've named them and you've experienced the emotion, then what you want to do is notice in your body, where are they? Where do these emotions show up? We're all different. We all experience our own constrictions in our own ways. You know, sometimes you might have tight legs even. Okay, I think everybody else is still good. Let me know, Barb, if I come back. So we want to know where the emotions are in the body. What is your fear? Where is your sadness? Where is your anxiety? We're all different. No judgment, no judgment. We're just noticing. We're just noticing. Okay, so first you sat up, you've been open, you've opened your body up, then you've noticed your emotions, what are you feeling and where are you feeling them? You've named them, you've allowed them to come up to the best of your abilities. And of course, later on, tomorrow, today, whatever, you can feel them deeper than we might do right at this moment. The next thing you're going to do when you're ready is to breathe very deep, because when we are stressed, we are shallow breathers. We don't breathe deeply. So we want a deep breath there, so we can get out of that shallow and into a more settled energy. My intention now, when I move into this, okay, third step here is to move into love and light. That is my intention. I'm moving into love and light. It can be the love and light of God, the universal energy, whatever it is. Move into the love and the light, whatever is right for you. I have, when I move into this space, no desires, no wants, no needs. I'm not trying to control and I'm not trying to fix. I'm not asking for anything except to be in the love and the light. I am in the love and light. And I breathe that in. I am in the love and the light for the highest and the best. And what's happening when we're doing this is we're letting go, consciously deciding to let go of control. We're not asking to be healed. We're not asking for anything else. We're not asking for anything. We're asking the God energy to move us into the space of the God energy. We're surrendering to that God energy, intentionally stepping into the higher vibration. We're choosing it in the love, in the light. We are breathing that in, okay? So we've sat, we're open, we've acknowledged our emotions, we've named them, we've noticed where they are in the body, so that's in the back of your mind, where they are. Then we've connected to the infinite energy, the God energy, the love and the light of the God energy. Then the next step, the final step. Okay, I don't know. I hope looks okay to me, you guys. So I'm hoping all is well with my video, because wouldn't that be a bummer as I'm working on this for you? So the next step is to reconnect to the positive energy of your personal memory, the love you have for somebody else, whatever brings you and gets you in that positive energy. Adding another layer to the layer you already have. You're in the God energy and you're adding your own energy to it. You're already feeling it. You're already in the love. Now you're adding that to it. Okay, so you're feeling whatever it is, the love you have for another person, the love you have for people, the love you have for God. You're feeling into that time where you felt amazing, where you were in the flow and everything was just working for you. You're into that. When you are in the flow now, when you are in the flow of the God energy, you're in the flow of yourself, okay? You're going to feel that energy, feel it. What does it feel like? Okay, step into it, breathe into it, feel it. You'll feel your body start to relax. You are going to consciously, intentionally, with your breath, take that energy and move it over to the constricted areas in your body where you felt it for those negative emotions. Okay, so if your chest felt tight, you are going to consciously step into that loving energy and bring it there. Sometimes I like to put my hand wherever that constriction is to help me focus on that energy and to keep me connected there so that I know that that energy is going there. That can work. I can visualize that relaxing. So I'm taking that positive energy and bringing it over. I'm transferring it over. You can go back into the positive energy as much as you need to bring it back to the constrictions. Okay, so what you're doing, you've figured out where the constrictions are, we've stepped into the positive energies, now we feel it, we've got to feel it, feel what it feels like. You may have tingling in your hands. You might start notice feelings of lightheadedness even as the energy comes in through your crown chakra. You might start feeling things happening in your body, things calming and relaxing. Your breath might start to get deeper and deeper and deeper, as it does. Whatever happens for you is right. You're going to consciously take that energy and send it to the constriction. Your intention is to dissolve that constriction. You're going to do it as much as you can, breathing that positive energy in. We're just transferring it over, okay? Okay, so for those of you who are doing this with me, take a, working fine there, thank you everybody. Okay, take a deep breath as you're doing this, and you can start to come back or continue if you want to, okay? I can't see you, you can do whatever you want. So take a deep breath, and then you can come back, relax, open your eyes. Now that was a quick-ish way to get through that, where we can feel all of that. And really, the reason I have it as 4 steps is because I want to make sure for success, I want success, opening the body. You want to be open. It's just like if you're a public speaker. If you walk up in front of people all hunched over, your energy is low. When you do this, you're open, you're connected. Your heart chakra is connected to the universal energy, okay? The emotions, obviously, we want to transcend our anxiety, worry, overwhelm, fear, whatever we're experiencing. So we have to acknowledge what they are. That's why I want you to name them. Naming is very important. I am experiencing a feeling of, okay? I like doing it that way. I've talked about that before, rather than I am sad, because that gets it a little bit too close. I am experiencing. We can look at it a little bit more objectively. Makes it a little bit easier. So we do that. We feel it. Then we notice where it affects us in our body. Okay, then we breathe, connect in with the universal energy, the infinite energy, the God energy, being in the love and the light. We want to be there. We surrender to it. We allow ourselves to step into it. We allow it to come into our bodies. We are already in it. We are already a part of that universal energy. That's who we truly are at our core, at our soul level. We're already in it. That's who we are. We're just becoming more aware of that connection, aware of that energy that we already have. You are the love and light of God. It's already there. Then we add a little layer on top of it where we take that positive energy of whatever your memory is, who you love, whatever's important to you, what makes you feel most like you. Adding that in there. The more you practice being in that positive energy, the easier it is to transfer it to the negative experience, the negative energies. Now, I use the body, like I said, because it gets out of our heads. Our heads sometimes make us feel helpless and powerless. So if we focus on the body instead, we get out of our way. And that's why I use the body. Okay, play with it. See what comes of it. Literally, I mean, it took me, I don't know, probably 5 minutes to do that with you now, maybe a little more because I was explaining everything. But really, it's pretty simple and straightforward when you think about it. It's just a matter of taking the time to do it and practice it. It is necessary to practice the positive stuff first to make sure you can get there. Okay, because some people cannot feel the positive energies. So if you struggle with that, just practice that. And then after you've gotten a little bit better at that and you can connect a little easier, then you can start transferring it over. Okay, now here's a little aside. You can also use this technique for other things. So if you have a situation in your life that is going really well, focus on the energy of that, how that feels to you. And then you have another part of your life that's not going well, transfer that feeling over, okay? Just move it over. You can do it with healing. I used to do this with healing a long time ago. I remember I had carpal tunnel syndrome in my right arm, my right hand, and I couldn't use my hand. So what I would do is I would focus on my left hand, my left wrist, and feel that energy and how it felt there, and really get into it, really feel it. Like, what does it feel like to me? How does it feel in my body? Whatever it is. Then I would transfer it to my right hand. So you can use this technique for all sorts of things. But of course, as you know, I wanted to do on anxiety because we are living in a strange time right now. So you can do this for so many different things. When we do this, what's happening is you're connecting to your inner power, your inner magic. You're connecting to the universal energy, the God energy. You're creating more positive energies. You're consciously, intentionally reclaiming your power and helping yourself feel better. That's really the goal today. This is what I really wanted to talk about. You're developing resilience. The more you do this, the more positive your mindset will be, and you'll have more resilience. You'll be letting go of the hopelessness and powerlessness. You will be empowered. So it is a simple process, but a very deep one that can lead you to some amazing places, because it can take you other places as well, but I won't get into all that right now. I'm going on to see the comments now. I felt like I traveled in the love, in the light, and found myself smiling. Awesome, Debbie. Happy to hear that. Thanks, Leah, my shirt. Very rejuvenating. Felt as though a sense of intense warmth washed over me. Perfect. Awesome. That's what I'm looking for. I'm glad some of you actually tried it, because I figured there'd be someone who would just kind of go, yeah, whatever, I'm not going to try it. But I also know that my audience, for the most part, is a bunch of people who are really, really high vibrational beings who want to help other people and realize taking care of ourselves is essential if we're going to help other people reach their love and light as well. So practice this idea. This was what I wanted to talk about as I was driving back from Florida last week. It popped into my head and I wrote a whole bunch of notes down while I was driving. Don't worry, it was safe as I was driving, so I could make sure to share them with you. So I do want to thank you all for watching. I have not, I don't know what I'm talking about next week, because I've found out that when I have a topic these days, Spirit takes over and lets me know. So we'll be changing it. If you have not yet followed my page on Facebook, Colleen Vanderzijden, Medium and Intuitive Life Coach, please follow me there. My website, ColleenVanderzijden.com or PsychicMediumColleen.com. If you're on my mailing list, I did send a newsletter out today, woohoo, finally, and letting you know that we will be sending out regular newsletters with links to these shows and other things as we get going. Along with the shows, I have like timing out. So, you know, at 8:10 or 8 minutes, 10 seconds, I talked about this. 8:20, I talked about this. So you can actually find the topics you want to talk about or learn more about. You can find them there. These are also posted on my YouTube channel, and you can subscribe there, Colleen Vanderzijden. You can do that as well. And don't forget about lilydaleassembly.org, because you can find out everything that's supposed to be happening this summer. And actually, I have a good feeling about this. I do feel like we will have the summer season. I do feel like we are going to have a little bit less of the number of people who are there because of residual effects from this virus. But I do feel that we're going to have the summer season. But remember everything I said about the workshops being online as well. So you'll be able to take them online and you won't have to go in person. So that will be fun. Now I'm going to check the comments one more time. Leanne fell asleep. Awesome. Your voice is soothing. Thank you for walking us through. You are welcome. I'm happy it worked. I'm happy that worked. Let me know. You can write it in the comments and when I hang up in a second, let me know if anybody wants me to write it out so that you have it as a reference, or if you're good. If you're good, that's fine. I can easily write it out and put it on everywhere, wherever I need to be. So that is fine. Okay, so I think I have talked about everything I need to talk about, and I hope you guys have the most wonderful week. Just remember, I don't know what I'm going to say. Hold on, Spirit's got me for a second there. Okay. So just remember that there is nothing more that you need to do. You don't need to do anything. Okay. You don't need to do anything to fix your situations. You don't need to do anything. Just be open. The good thing about this is it's an open process. You don't need to do. I have a feeling the message coming through that there's some people who are really trying to control, fix, and they're worried too much about what's happening, worried too much about the future. Don't go there yet. It's a very clear message. You don't need to do anything. Feels to me that things are going to work themselves out. Now, that's not to say, and I don't want to dismiss the severe ramifications of what's happening, but keep that in mind, okay? I'm not sure what that was all about. Every now and then things like that happen. So, Ave Maria, yes. Write it out. Okay, Billy, I will. Okay, Jan, I will. I will write it out. I will make a note. Okay. Thank you guys so much. It was my pleasure to talk with you tonight. And I have to tell you, when I feel most like me is when I'm talking to you. So I love that. You have a great week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.